All right. Four color Gates friend. So remember, how do I do a chargeback? Anywho, 4 color Gates with some Super Friends twist. This was a viewer submitted request, so the core of this is our Gates package from last season, but they explicitly wanted Teferi and Ugin as Planeswalkers to have some friends to go along. So we've kind of fit that into this core of the Gates deck. Let's go ahead and dive on into some matches. Roth, our deck has 27 lands in it, so not sure where you're getting 22 from. We have not played a World Shaper Bantu deck on stream. Oh, I forgot to update the deck list. I'll have to do it after this match. I thought I re-exported it. The one that's listed up there is wrong. The one that's listed up there, so we were actually originally going to play this on Saturday, but I didn't get a chance to review the deck list Friday night. The originally submitted deck list had a lot of issues with it, including the land count being too low. The reality of the situation, Hayes, with the way Twitch streaming works is that basically any new streamer for any new game effectively is going to have a hard time gaining traction. The new people who really gain traction on Twitch are people who are coming in with audiences from other places. So like the MPL players who have backing from Wizards. Or people who have a platform from somewhere else, basically. Even myself, right? Like, I've been doing this for a while, and a large part of, like, my initial traction here was because I was a regular playing the SCG Tour events. I'm just gonna get rid of this. If they surveil in response, I feel bad. Came here from the SCG Tour, had to see Kiki Cord, yep. And like, a big part of what helped too is like, not only did I consistently have a pretty reasonable record, like staying in the top 16 on the SCG Tour when I played there, but I also largely stayed in that top 16 and like qualified for their players championships and stuff, playing decks that were off the beaten path, right? So I wasn't just doing well, I was doing well with interesting decks. Yeah, Voyus, there's definitely a lot of truth to any press is good press. Again, I can't tell you the number of people that are like, well, I felt like I shouldn't give you a chance because I heard such and such say such and such, and then I like stopped in one day because you were the only thing on, and I'm glad I did. think I'm just gonna go ahead and tuck this in. I got 2 pieces of card advantage going. I do feel like a lot of the people, if I can just get them in the door, I'm like pretty okay at what I do, right? It might be wrong to play these Gatebreaker Rams out because it feels like there's a good chance my opponent's just like sitting on a bunch of removal, right? We're definitely like quickly approaching unlosable territory here though, right? Like I've got this going, I've got this going, I've got these in my hand. I thought this was a horrifying den of memeage and internet sewage based on Reddit headlines, and then I watched you off a Saffron Olive video and I was amazed at what I was seeing. Yeah. I definitely think things have improved further since we moved to sub-only chat. I definitely was at fault from getting off topic with some consistency due to things that would occur in the chat, and making the chat sub-only has removed that. How long ago did I play professionally? I played I made more money than I lost traveling to play Magic on the SCG Tour in 2014, 2015, and 2016. 2013 too, I suppose. And like, that's like the bar for professional Magic. Like, especially before these bigger tournaments from Arena, like actually turning a profit playing in tournaments is like really difficult because tournaments don't pay out a lot. And the tournaments that do pay out, they are extremely top heavy. So like I actually hold the record on the SCG Tour for the most open top 8s without actually winning the tournament, which the difference between top 8ing and getting first is over 4 grand. So like if you top 8 you get 500 bucks, and if you win you get 5 grand. So like the discrepancy there, just winning your extra matches at the end, is huge. You could say coffee is for closers, and that's why I don't drink coffee. Thanks, Thirsty. Good to have you here. I'm here for the god-awful music references and butchered names. God bless. Well, so when I was traveling to play a bunch of Magic, like, people who think, so, like, a typical weekend traveling to play Magic was, like, putting 3 to 4 other dudes in the same car and, like, driving anywhere between 4 and 10 hours to all get to the same tournament. So your costs were low-ish because everybody was sharing the costs between people. Radagast, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the sub gifties. Welcome, new folks. Thanks, Drax.
Let us see your talent. Let me aid your research.
You think your audience will ever grow to the point where people will talk about you instead of to you? Nah, I don't think so. I think there's a really definite ceiling on what Magic can do. Like, obviously, Arena's grown what Magic can do, but there's still a real ceiling there, right? And if you want a comparison of what I mean, go back and look at what Hearthstone's Twitch numbers looked like during their most recent set release and what Magic's numbers look like. Like, Magic's numbers are way up from what they ever were previously, but it's still night and day compared to what Hearthstone gets. Chicago and New York City proper are the 2 most expensive cities in the United States to get convention space in. And there actually has been a Grand Prix in Chicago. One of the first Grand Prix I ever played in was GP Chicago 2012. Pillwiggett, thank you for the 4-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Was that the Legacy GP? That was a Modern Grand Prix where I played Blue-Red Wizards. My love affair with Spellstutter Sprite goes way back. Yeah, there was an SCG Chicago that actually took place in, like, Northbrook.
I am Tamio. It is an honor to meet you. Seek.
I don't know the answer to that question. Thank you, Renegast. I appreciate it. Will do. It is not.
I question this outcome.
So Hearthstone's just able to appeal to an audience that Magic just could never really hope to appeal to. The fact that Hearthstone's a game that works well on mobile also does wonders for it. Now there's a chance we just don't get another turn here, or if we do get another turn, we don't get a combat step on that turn. Yeah, Ugin is really good. This card on its own solves a lot of problems that Grixis, blue-black, red, big red, like, the fact that any color can answer target problem permanent now is huge. Hey, Skip Dash, thanks for the 18-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, so this is the real answer. We were talking about my snack choice earlier. As a 200-pound American, the actual answer was probably just eat one of each, right? So I finished the apple cinnamon power-up. I'm going to open the strawberry box now. I'm very pro reclamation ban. And also, the apple one isn't bad, but the person earlier that said the strawberry one was much better, they were not lying. They know what's up. The squares on the wall behind me are actually all around my room, and they're to cut some of the echo that occurs in here. So later this summer, one of the reasons why Christy and I actually bought the house we did earlier this year, late last year. You know, we technically closed last year, I guess. Or was it this year? I don't know. It all blurs. There's an unfinished room to my right, and my father does construction, so he's supposed to come down this summer and help me build that out into a formal studio. Which I am greatly looking forward to. I think if you couldn't float mana in response to Reclamation's trigger, it would be fine. Favorite feature you're looking to include in your studio? I don't know. That's a good question. Untapped land tier is sweet. Probably a little bit better, sound baffling. Like we're gonna do the walls and the ceiling. Like I didn't take the time to stick sound panels to the ceiling here, and ideally I should have sound paneling on the ceiling too, because that's another place that it reverberates off of. It feels right to ask for a timeout. Feels 2016, man. We got you. What mic am I using? I just have a Blue Yeti. Right. And that's the best part about playing the unranked queue, is I just get to concede and not feel bad. Also, holy crap, there have been a lot of people playing Wilderness Reclamation in the unranked queue. What's up with that? I've said a number of times that we're going to stay off of politics on this stream, and we're going to stick to that. But I feel like there's a lot of new Magic people in the community. If you don't know that Todd Stevens is the scum of the earth, I would encourage you to Google his name. I would like to not have a discussion about it here in chat, but I do feel like a PSA that he is not a good human being. And if you only like to support people that you watch who are decent human beings, he is not one that you want to give your view to. Thank you, Fox. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Have a good one, Hayes. That is the perfect command. I think the WotC play design team was where the problems Nexus plus Wilderness Reclamation could cause, or did they miss that interaction? I'm not sure. It's a good question though. My statement on the DQ for the Mythic Championship, as someone who's gotten both a warning and an incorrect game loss for marked cards in tournament play, it is incredibly difficult to get DQ'd from it accidentally. It is the likelihood that a pattern randomly happened to be on your cards is like non-existent. Sleeves getting damaged and players being careless and not recognizing it, that happens. That's happened to me. But I've never been DQ'd for it because the chances of a pattern accidentally happening on your marked sleeves it's so small you shouldn't even talk about it. We're probably dead here. We don't really have our mana developed at this point, and we're drawing a lot of cards that just aren't good against a control deck. If your sleeves do happen to have marks on them and there's not a pattern, they just give you a warning and tell you to change your sleeves. And that's the correct ruling. If there's a pattern on it, what are the odds he conceded there? Because I was telling people he was scum because we're playing against him. Feels like there's a high chance, right? Because he just times people out and removes people from his chat whenever they mention his past. I agree, Hacksaw. That was Todd Stevens MTG. And if you don't know why I'm saying that person is scum, I'd encourage you to Google their name. This hand needs a green land, but green's one of our most common colors in our mana base, so I'm going to keep this on the draw. He is regularly one of the most viewed channels on the Magic section on Twitch. This hand is not stellar against a potentially aggressive start here. Continually lying to players about the rules. People are so wild. All right, so if we hit a land with this growth spiral and get a root, we could maybe be in this, but we might just be dead before that's relevant. Yeah, no problem, Zilla. I think a big part of it is the Magic community's grown a lot recently, and a lot of people don't know. I definitely think there's a subset of people that don't care, but I think there's a group of people that don't know, too. Alright. Aggro deck. Bring in removal. Archer's pretty good here, too. It just, like, stonewalls some of their attackers. Teferi's probably worse than Ugin, because Ugin's uptick impacts the board nicely. Gate Colossus probably a little slow. I like this as a good blocker. I'm gonna trim one of these. I wonder if it's crazy to trim this. It says gumming up on too many of them. It's probably bad. I could see Harpooner being okay. It's probably likely they board out a lot of their removal. So Harpooner is, in a way, kind of just a 2-mana removal spell for us. So I can see that being reasonable. Rats. I was really hoping they'd play the 1/1 Double Striker there and we just get to Archer them. Gatebreaker Ram was an awesome draw because it throws up a brick wall and encourages them to go wider, and then we get to Gates Ablaze them. They could be a feather deck, that's true. I didn't think about it until I saw this, but there's probably a good chance they're a feather deck. Yikes. Reckless Rage is real good here. It actually gets their thing out of range of Gates Ablaze too for now. Oh, thank you. Update Stream Decker. That's totally been wrong this whole time. Hey, there's a friend for this. Do I just do this? I think so. They could have a pump spell to blow out this fight here, but then next turn I get set up to do this plus this, which is kind of nice. I wonder if they think Double Strike works with fighting here. It does not. Double Strike and First Strike do not impact fights, as a good rule of thumb for the people at home. Really want to draw a gate here, so that way we can Gates Ablaze to kill this. A gate would let us kill both of their things here. Yeah, I agree, Zach. See that a lot. Gate! Gate! Heyo! My friends. Have I done this type of deck yet? Yeah, we played a feather deck over the weekend, but the build I had wasn't particularly good. Was not happy with the build that I had put together. What mechanics do impact fighting? Lifelink gives you... Lifelink and Death Touch both impact fighting. Hey, F Weasel, thank you for the 11 months of tier 2. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, and the reason for that difference is Death Touch and Lifelink get applied to everything you do, basically, with damage from that creature, whereas First Strike and Double Strike just take place during a special part of damage. Or a special part of combat. Ervik, thank you for the 6-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Grow, my Ram, grow! Brutal. So this was gonna be enough to save my Ram and have it trade in combat. Oh, buddy! Magic is a skill-based game. Do-da, do-da, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Listen, chat, always remember, if you have to choose between being lucky and being good, always choose being lucky. Did I go through forum submissions over the weekend? I did Sunday afternoon. If you submitted something Sunday night, it's still waiting to be responded to. But anything that had been submitted by, like, noon cornfield time on Sunday got gone through. Luck isn't a superpower, Jeff. Disagree. Calm down, Matthew. Coming in hot with the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month with that. So, because they left Shock and the Deal 4 in their deck, I don't think I want this. I talked about maybe wanting this, but because they left those cheap removal in their deck, I'm going to decline. Just going to run back what we did. Zeckles, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's been your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. Ah, I didn't update the Stream Decker. Oh, wait. Wait, this is DM3. Shh, shh. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out eventually. This hand is a little bit slow, but I think turn 4 Gates Ablaze is a keep. I submitted something and Jeff very politely said, "No dice, you are bad." Not a direct quote. Contrary to some of the decks that make it through on stream, I don't say yes to everything. I say yes to a lot because a lot of the times I can massage things into being fun and kind of competitive, but I do say no sometimes. This is the old double tapped land. It's so tapped when it comes into play, it taps something else. Ooh, Lava Coil's a good draw. Have we played / got any Nissa ramp decks in the queue? I think we might have just had one added. Chef Seth coming in hot with the $20 tip. Whoop. This is so we're playing Bant Eldrazi in the morning. Sounds good. Looking forward to it. What war card has surprised me the most? Why would they do that? It's an instant, right? Weird timing. They have another one. Another one. The polite words were the average card quality is too low. I once DM'd Jeff about a modern build around for my favorite creature. He told me the creature wasn't good enough for modern. I was hurt that day, but I recovered. Yeah, as much as I would like to do actual everything. Bye, friend. Sometimes we just can't make it work. Tibalt. Tibalt is probably the card that's impressed me the most that I wasn't expecting to do a lot. Alright, well I think we just do that into Ugin the next turn. Sign me up. This game should be pretty done at this point. Say hello to my not-so-little friend.
Do not defy the designs of
I've been saying this a lot, but just to reinforce, I really think they've done a truly excellent job with the recent Planeswalker designs. They've just been so stellar. I think I got you, Hacksaw. I think I got you on a little bit of delay there. And thank you for the biddies. All right, Gatewalkers, export this. Yeah, I agree, Rich. I think they've probably had a bit of a design philosophy change with Planeswalkers because honestly, I feel like Kaya, Dovin, and Domri from the set before War from Ravnica's Allegiance were also very well designed. Thobble, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This hand doesn't really do anything, right? I guess I start at 23, though. I'm going to keep this because I have life gain land. What was the build around? Chalky, I might have already built it. Sometimes I forget to send a message saying, yes, I added this. I agree, B-Mech. Even Bolas, which is the most stock Planeswalker of the designs, feels like it was well thought out. I don't think Nazul in the sideboard of this deck really solves any problems that it has, so I'm not sure why it would be appealing. I mean, Liliana's a 6-mana Planeswalker. Cards that cost 6 mana are probably supposed to be defined as a bit much. The correct answer to dealing with a 6-mana card because it feels like a bit much is kill them before they cast it. Yeah, this Archway Angel might not be enough to... Yikes, are we actually just dead? We tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter anymore. Alright, let's take the old curve and drag it down. Someone asked me if I feel like... Planeswalker solves problems this archetype had last season. I don't. Someone just sent in a deck submission requesting Planeswalkers in the Gates deck. I don't think they're bad by any means in this deck, but I don't think they actively solve problems that this archetype had. Favorite decks this season so far. If you head on over to my website and click videos favorites, every day that I stream, I tag 1 to 2 decks that are my favorite from that day. So very easy to find that. Thanks, A Figured Adventure. I appreciate that. As long as he sticks around, we'll call it out every few months. This is probably we really would prefer they mulligan low in the 3rd game where they're on the play, but they are getting Magic tier, unfortunately for them. What's so funny about my website URL, Party Bus Driver? Why are you laughing at my web domain? I don't understand. I'm very proud of my web domain. No, I don't think new Ugin is good enough for Modern Tron. I think it's much worse than just Karn, and you really don't need a 5th Karn. Ekian, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month with that. Mattman, the URL doesn't work. I swear that URL was working. The URL doesn't work on HTTPS. Oh, weird. However, the forward setup must make it not work. On HTTP, it forwards properly. Do I have an updated Vanifier deck in the queue? I don't think so, although I think someone just submitted a BAM one. Alright, I mean, this hand's a little bit slow. Ideally, I want to draw an untapped land on 3, but this hand has all the cards I want in this matchup, so it's definitely a keep. This is a good draw. This will help us stem the bleeding. I actually don't own that domain name. Mattman, one of the subs, set that up for us. Perfect. And that gains us life and gives me an untapped land on 3. That was easily the best draw in my deck. Yeah, Waterfalls gets it. Yikes. Alright, so I think because they played double bodyguard here, I actually just Archer this turn. This is why this card's sweet in our sideboard. Today's been really good, Brave Earth. The first 2 aggro decks we played were great, and this one's been going well also. Squee! Thank you for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, I think we just blaze it now. There are not any... I don't believe there are any Pirates decks in the queue at the moment. As always, you can find the deck queue on my website here. That is kept up to date with the asterisk. It won't have decks that were added during today's stream in it. I think we're pretty well off here now. Gatebreaker Rams plus Lava Coil hold the board down. And then Krasis is going to pull us ahead. So these things are going to attack for lots next turn, but that's okay. I'm gonna offer this trade, actually. So, like, if you would like to trade your knights for this, that's fine. Yeah, I agree. History, like, if they go land reinforcements into land reinforcements again, we might lose. But other than that, I think we're pretty well off here. Thinking about adding the green or white finales to the gate decks to have more X payoffs. I don't know that they really solve problems that we have. I also think getting green, green, and white, white mana consistently can be difficult. Yeah, the thing that the new Ugin does that's very good is, in addition to being a colorless source of card advantage, the new Ugin effectively breaks the color pie to allow any deck to deal with various problem permanents that you otherwise wouldn't be able to remove in your colors. He allows Grixis to kill enchantments. He allows, you know, mono red to kill planeswalkers, stuff like that. I would love a Gatebreaker Ram on 3, thank you. What are your thoughts in Blast Zone and Tron over Buried Rune? I don't think you play either of those cards. I think if I wanted a land in Tron that generated value, I would play Urza's Factory. That's potentially very scary. Just proliferate on a stick. Yeah, the only time Buried Rune usually comes up is usually not in Green Tron. It comes up in the other Tron splash decks, basically. Hopefully we draw a Gate in one of our next 2 draws so we can block this Jade Light. Opponent is missing land drops, though, which is good for us. Especially when they've got this. And since we drew the gate right away, if they draw a land to proliferate this, we might get the surprise pump block kill. Self-mill? That sounds hot. There's a theme. Ram and Bust both have absurd power toughness and silly sheep noises. All right, attack me for 5. Oh, geez, they're attacking for 6. That's really good. Correct, we do not have a pump guaranteed, but we could hit one. Gosh, we'd have gotten there. I think there's a good chance my opponent's deck doesn't have haste or reach in it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this and take their big thing off the table. Thoughts on the new Taylor Swift song? What part of the songs that I sing on this stream makes you think I keep up with current music? Yeah, I think this card might actually be incredibly playable. Just the fact that it has reach makes it really reasonable against mono blue.
I'm not done yet.
Ain't nobody got time to play around giant growth, okay? No one has time to play around giant growth. Shake It Off is half a decade old. Yeah, exactly. See? That one's not quite early 2000s, but it's close enough. Do you have any sweet decks involving Ugin and a pile of colorless cards? I don't currently. Just wanted to double check that you were going to add Green Black Elves list. I sent in for bits a little bit ago. Yeah, Fox, the queue doesn't get updated midstream. At the end of every stream, I have a report that pulls all the bits and donations, and I go through and do all the updates. I think a couple of Archway Angels here are fine. I think, like, Gate Colossus is probably a little bit slow. Let's trim him out. What do we want to cut here? I don't hate trimming on, like, some card advantage against the aggro decks. That's probably fine. I still have like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces of card advantage. The blue-green draw one, Growth Spiral, is subtly one of the best cards in your deck. It's a card that helps us play our expensive cards out ahead of curve. It's very, very important. How's War treating us? It's very reasonable, Jared. It's giving us a healthy mix of new things to play with here on stream. I think the format as a whole probably isn't that different, but we definitely have new toys to play with here. Really want to draw a gate this turn. That's awesome. They're playing Evolving Wilds to double trigger the Proliferate Landfall card. That's great. Play War Spark. Hey, Courageous Squid. Thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. Just Memekin through 3 Archway Angels. Yeah, I mean, like, Memekin's the type of deck where when it gets going, it overkills by a lot. Tier 1 subs do not get a complimentary bump. Details on how my deck queue system works can be found on my website here. The benefit that Tier 1 subs get is they can add standard decks to the queue for just $10. They get a complimentary timeout. They could have that if they wanted. That's true. Giraffe, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm at 112. Is it safe to stop playing? I stopped playing at 141, but the actual answer is I don't know. No one knows what safe is because safe is dictated by how many people are playing. Greeny T, thank you for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Where are my gates at? Oh, it doesn't have vigilance. Oh, I totally forgot it doesn't gain vigilance until it's 4/4. Shouldn't have attacked. I'm gonna take 2 damage I didn't have to take here. I just assumed vigilance was part of the card. Whoopsie. Last season, my buddy Matt stopped playing at 140 with 2 days to go, and he made the cut. So there's 1 day left to go now, so I'm hoping that I'll be fine. Oh, I missed a point of damage here. I don't know, we can check periodically throughout the day. When there were 28 hours left to go, we were 141. I might have rage deleted the top 1000 info command after I tilted out of the top 1000 last season. So if a mod wants to re-add it, you can do that. Listen, at least I'm honest about my shortcomings, chat. It's the least I can do. The TLDR is if you're in the top 1,000 at the end of the season, you get invited to a tournament, and if you do well in that tournament, it invites you to another tournament, and then if you do well in that tournament, you finally get to play in a thing. So it allows you to partake in tournamentception to eventually do something.
Recklessness and fear are the truth lies beyond vision.
I was scared until the Ram became a 2-2, right? Yeah, mind control, not so good on Gatebreaker Ram.
Come on, Raul. Time to have your day. I will help you through this.
Yeah, the tournaments are from home. The final tournament is like an invitational style tournament that only has like 50 people in it. Now it's a mana elephant. Do I gain life this turn? I gain more life if I wait a turn. Because I can root plus play this plaza.
The fabric of the multiverse obeys me.
What a workout.
They could also have like a Frilled Mystic here, which would be annoying. Oh, you know what? Maybe I was supposed to play the island since I drew the growth spiral. That's maybe true. Gosh, look how unlucky we are. We have to discard to hand size. Yeah, I agree, Prince. It was definitely very impressive. In before the opponent plays a Blood Moon. Thank goodness Standard doesn't have cards like that, huh? Basic Potato, thanks for checking in for the 11th month. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Adding a single Jace might not be the worst because of Guild Summon Tuning thing. Yeah, maybe. I could see that. Oh, Plaza of Harmony. Oh no, did I just click keep? Oh, I was like, I didn't think I clicked keep there, but then I like had a moment where I doubted myself. Way to make me doubt myself, Magic Arena. Great. All right. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Oh, nope, JK. Ooh. Woo. I like when we draw the perfects. That's my favorite. We might still be dead, but Plaza was the best draw in our deck there. Untap lands are busted. Alright, gain 8. Probably not enough. Go. Alright, I get it. I get it. Defense. Defense. In case you couldn't tell, one of my plague carriers got me sick over the weekend. So, we're working through that at the moment. Man, one fours are busted. Why doesn't the larger, more dominant mammal simply eat the smaller one? Oh, I needed that. I'm not sure that we really have enough non-creature spells to trigger Saheeli enough in this deck. Would be my question. Perfect command. Thanks for the heads up. You know, maybe I'm supposed to chump block their 4/3 here and just hope to rip the Gates Ablaze. That's a possibility. This isn't like a strictly terrible version. So like, this is a Gates Friends deck that's like very close to like the reasonable Gates build that we've played before, Punchworthy. We might be en route to stabilization here. And one of the sweet things about the Ram is that, like, he closes the game out while playing defense. Which is awesome. Yeah, this is the perfects. Pretty close to the perfects, just like turn 3, Plaza of Harmony game 3 plus Gates Ablaze. And if they don't play enough stuff out to make us want to Gates Ablaze on 3, we can just play Gatebreaker Ram. So it has both directions that we might want to go in. What's my favorite so far? Either the Esper Super Friends deck we've been playing or Black Green Citadel. As always, if you head on over to my website, you can find my favorite deck from each day we've been playing under the videos tab. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and kill these here. Because they have the Midnight Reaper in play, if they play more creatures out, they're just gonna draw more cards anyway, so I'd rather just like stem the bleeding now, I think. Yes, we are playing the Citadel deck again today, because it was great. Yep. Next turn might be a Baby Krasis turn. I think I actually blocked this one, because this would give them another token, so this gets rid of more power in the long term. Although I guess if I'm playing Hydroid Krasis, I can block that. Plaza of Harmony is such a good card. That means next turn, I get to play Plaza, gain 3, play Krasis, gain 2. They just like, can't beat the goat. The goat. How long till Citadel? This will probably be the last match with Gates friends. We're into this one for about an hour. Yeah, this is fine. Turn 3, Blaze or Goat, depending on what's good. Towards foiling out the Goat yet? I don't believe so. Is there a foil version of the Goat? Do I do Limited at all? I do not. Limited is not my cup of tea. I'm told Ben Stark is one of the best Limited players in the world, and he streams a ton of Limited. So, him, Newmont, Caleb does a little bit of Limited on occasion, MTG Nerd Girl, these are all people that I would recommend for Limited content if you're looking for that. This is a bastion of Constructed. I think it's way too expensive, Party Bus Driver. I also think if you're looking for a top-end Planeswalker in Aristocrats, you'd probably rather play Liliana. That's a good draw. Oh, you know what? I should have played a land out, because if I would have played my untapped land, I could have gotten this Gateway Plaza out of my deck, which would be ideal. That's something I should have done. It's not a big deal, Brad. It's a purely business decision. There's no bad blood there, I don't think. Resolve! Rats. Hey, Zero. It's been a tough week. Contract unexpectedly ended. I'm looking for new work. Thanks for the content. Thoughts on putting new Karn In Citadel as a tutor, also more Citadel, please. Sounds good, Zero. I don't,
Problems are my profits.
I don't know, that's interesting. Really wish I would have waited on the Ugin, huh? Glad you decided against having your... It was 10% ads, but yeah. 10%. 10%'s unacceptable, I think. New Karn to search for Citadel. I'm not sure that you really need it. I feel like I'd want to max on, like, Bonda Flourishing before I did that.
Somebody stick around after they do.
Eagle Shank, thanks for the 7 months. Might be dead here. This is definitely a pretty good example of, like, wrong half problem, right? So, like, if this Archway Angel and these Gates Ablazes had, like, been cards that have text boxes against control, we might have been okay here, but I just have too many cards that don't line up well here. So let's get to the post-board game where we can fix that. That was the worst part about watching Duo Standard. Just watching all the people play these games where they, like, drew Kaya's Wraths and Cast Downs against decks where they didn't do anything. It's just like, this is so miserable. I mean, like, so at the end of the day, I would have, like, Tempo Storm was paying me, and, like, I get some small amount from running Twitch ads, but everything comes with what's called an opportunity cost, right? So the opportunity cost of making the money from running those ads loses me money in other places, in addition to degrading the quality of my content. So after running the numbers of, like, what those things make and pay, and, like, totaling what I expected the opportunity cost to be, I felt like I was likely to break even making that money while making my content worse once I factored in money it was going to lose me from other places. So, like, even from a pure bottom line standpoint, I don't think it really made sense for me to do. I know that there are some people that would sit through that, but, like, there are a number of people who wouldn't, and with good reason, right? Like, that volume of ads is absurd. Yeah, that's true too. I definitely think something like that impacts me more than others, because I sell my own ad space too, right? Like the thing scrolling on that banner down below. And, like, if I have to sell less of that ad space, that costs me money in the long term too. So I have a decision to make since I drew this. So this actually draws me 2 cards in addition to ramping me here, but Cindervines killing Azcant is also appealing. I think developing my mana is more important, though. Yeah, saying you have less ads than cable is a lot like saying, like, you smell you smell better than a pile of poop. Like, it's factually correct, but it's not really relevant to say. I mean, at the end of, like, people are talking about, like, ads in the contract and stuff like that. So I've actually heard people make fun of me for saying it too. When I tell people thanks for keeping me employed when they sub here on my channel, that's me being honest. That's not just a quip, right? Like, the bulk of my money and my income from this job comes from people that directly support. So, like, things that make the viewer experience worse is bad because it's a negative on the people that are directly supporting me.
It's a matter of
Where's the button that tells you Jeff made me dump all my money into Arena? Thanks, Dorko. I appreciate the 15 months. Actually, I'm gonna growth spiral here because I can just do this next turn as this is more mana efficient. Let's do this. Can it to win it. Thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good start to your week. That card's so busted when it draws 2 cards too. Alright, so they're gonna get to flip Azcanta next turn, so I want to just get rid of that. We're gonna have a giant Krasis here in a minute. This deck draws a lot of cards. In fact, this is a card we could potentially play in our deck just because this deck frequently last season would deck out on occasion. Or get close to decking out. I don't think I want to play the Ram. I guess I need to get through the removal at some point, but like, I kind of assume they have a bunch of removal in their hand. It is a lot like PBS, you're not wrong. 5, 10, I think I just do 8. Spell Pierce is a good one to know about. That'll impact my future decisions. Syncopate, brutal. At least I still get to draw cards. How close is this card to ulting? Hey, Cog, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Really need to, like, stumble my way into an Ugin here, huh? Next turn I get to double Goat, which is nice, because this still doesn't ult for 2 more turns. Master's Mind Acquisition. Alright. What you got? They're looking at my graveyard. Are they gonna Unward Ego me? Alright. I bet they're naming Hydroid Krasis, which is actually kind of good for me. I really hope they name Krasis, because Krasis isn't actually very good for us here, right? I'm kind of in danger of decking out, and this lets me draw 2 more cards to get me closer to drawing Ugin. If I hit Ugin here, it's like absurdly good, and now I get 4 draws at Ugin. Unmoored Ego draws me 2 cards, my draw step, and playing a gate. So like, they took cards I don't really care about. Oh look, and they gave me a Negate. Alright, 6 mana, 30 power, go. Good rate. Reasonable rate, really. Good exchange. Alright, so this Negate should be good to kill them. They have 28 cards in their deck. And like, even 1 removal spell's not good enough, right? Alright. Let's run it back. Yeah, cards in the opponent's deck is unfortunately one of the things that Deckmaster does not post. don't know. I like hitting land drops. I don't like mulliganing against Thought Erasure. It does suck kind of that we don't have white mana. Maybe that's a reason to mulligan. It's fine, chat. Look at that. We drew the white mana. You just gotta believe. If we don't get there with this hand, it's chat's fault because they didn't believe hard enough. See, that's what I'm talking about. Power of positive thinking. Direction to the crossroads at which you sold your soul. Yeah, definitely. In fact, the demon that works there gives me an extension on my deal every time I send him a new person. It's a good system. Why does this deck play so many shocks? What do you mean by so many? I think there's like 3 or 4, if that. The demon gives you a 10% discount with code Jeff10. Oh, it's funny because it's on point. It's fine, chat. We'll draw another bomb. Gosh, we're so unlucky. Rats. Where's a Hydroid Krasis when you need one? Joke's on you, opponent. I kept a hand without spells in it. Can you give me an example on when to jam your plays and when to not? A good example of when to jam is when you have multiple threats and you just want to sequence them out in order from least important to most important. Like with many things in Magic, there aren't really hard and fast rules for always do this, never do this. There's context to like what other plays your opponents has made that game. Could they possibly be holding up counter magic stuff? Could they possibly be holding up draw spells in addition to counter magic? Games like this tend to favor the Gates deck because we have 4 Hydroid Krasis. Because, like, we're just, like, Krasis away from burying them in unsurmountable card advantage. And by that, I mean they're about to ego our Krasis. Yikes. Here's hoping we draw a Planeswalker. This is an example of a place where this ego is not going to be bad. It does take our 4 best draws out of the deck that basically mean they can't win the game anymore. We're not just dead to this ego, but it does feel bad. Guild Summit is also an okay draw, but Guild Summit's not uncounterable. The nice thing about Krasis is it's guaranteed cards, whereas they're sitting here with cards in hand, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have, like, a Negate or a Sabotage or something like that. So, like, the reason why Krasis is so good in these matchups is because they can't counter it. Although that resolved really fast, so maybe they don't have anything going on. How is Black-Red Zombies? Awesome. Was really, really impressed with the red-black aggro decks we played today. Hey, Zitch Dog, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Well, there's only one Gate Colossus left in my deck, so deal. They took our Krasis with the first ego. Well, the black-green Krasis deck, or Citadel deck that we're going to play up next here is a combo deck. So, it was very sweet when we played it on Saturday, so hopefully it'll be good again. Definitely don't want them flipping that. Oh, Ram. You're a turn late, Ram. Needed you a little bit sooner. Needed you a touch sooner, little Ram.
I'll be back. Just you wait. Shapes, but they all look like a payday to me.
Yeah. That probably means we're done. What do you like better in Grixis mid-range, Tyrant, Scorn, or Angrath Fury? I think Scorn is very good, and I think Angrath Fury is one of the most overhyped cards in this set. I think it's much worse than Bedevil in a lot of decks. J-Man-Dog, first time catching the stream in a while, but I love all the VODs. Keep up the good work. Thank you for the 17 months. I appreciate you dropping the Prime off. Alright, well that's a sad end to things, but it is what it is. The Winding Road. Thanks for being the best Magic streamer on Twitch. Thanks for the support. Thanks for keeping me around. Nickel Bolas, thank you for the Prime. Welcome back. All things considered, I actually kind of liked Ugin in this deck. This card's just really good just really good in general. Being able to answer random problem permanents is powerful in mid-range and control decks, and he does that well. I'm not sure if I'm in love with Teferi. He requires us to skew a little bit more white in the mana base, so I'm not sure if I like him more than just like more Gate Colossus and more Guild Summit, but I think if I were to play, there's a deck in the queue that's an update for just like my preferred build of Gates. I think we're going to try a couple of Ugins in my preferred build of Gates. Overall, I think this archetype's kind of okay still. I think we might want like a touch more removal in the sideboard maybe, but mono blue also hasn't been super popular lately, so like, that means maybe we don't need things like Kraul Harpooner either. What do you think of Kaya's Ghost Form as a card in Constructed? I think it's probably not good enough. I think you'd probably rather just have another bomb rather than have a card that's only good when you already have a bomb in play.